Hi guys, so we're back handling missing values, and for this video tutorial we're going to be handling missing data, and we're going to be handling it with a mean value. Again, in the world of data is almost always messy. Now, if there is a situation where the data you need to handle your data, there might be a need to handle data using a mean value, or rather handling missing values using mean values. Now, why would we want to use a mean value to handle missing values? Now, some situation may warrant not wanting to disrupt the distribution of the data you have in that column. Now, so you would want to use the mean to fill in the missing values. Now, again, remember, we have business cases for anything you're doing for any business you're managing data for. There must be a business case for handling missing values in order to make data-driven decisions, or to model a real-life situation. So we're going to look at handling that here. Now, remember, we have our biodata, right? We have our biodata, and so what we're going to do is we are going to we're going to create another pipeline. We're going to call this biodata underscore real underscore mean underscore value. Why we want to use this is so that we know that this data set has a pipeline, and in one of its pipelines we used the mean value to replace missing values. And so in here we're going to have our biodata real. So we now have our data here. So we have this pipeline. Now, in our original data, which is this, so this is biodata, we can now look at missing values, and we're fortunate that a missing value, we have a salary here that's a missing value, right? And there's also missing values in the height table, right? If you had seen the last video, you could see that the missing values are there. But just for us to know, we're going to look at this and say, okay, biodata dot is null. Then we chain it to see the sum, and we have this. Now we're going to deal with this too, and we're going to fill in the data with the mean. So how do we do that? So here we are going to look at our biodata underscore real underscore mean value, which is the data we're going to use to use the mean value. The mean value that we're going to use to fill in the missing values, right? So the first thing I'll do is I'll take the column that I want to work with. So first of all, I'll use salary, which is the one we've noticed already to have a missing value. Then, so we already have this column. Now we'll go into the data itself, which is our biodata, and we're going to say for salary, because what we're going to do is we want to replace it already, right? So we're going to say for salary, we are going to fill, again, we're going to use the fill now function. We've seen that before. We're going to use the fill now function, and what we're going to have to fill it in is going to be the same that we mentioned here, biodata. And then we're going to put a square bracket, and we say salary, and then we put the square bracket, close it, then we put the mean. So that's what we're going to use, and we close that last bracket. So now here's what's going on here. this is the new column, which is the same column that we're filling in our missing values. Then that's what is going to replace the initial one with the missing values. And by the way, we did not check what the mean was, right? So that's my bad. Let's go back here and do biodata, and we'll go to the mean value, and we're going to say what we want is, let us see the summary statistic for the salary column. And to do that, we would use .describe. Right. With .describe, it generates a descriptive statistics, and one of the descriptive statistic we are looking for is the mean. Right. So with this, we'll run this, and then you will see that the mean is, you can see it here. It's pretty a long number because we have a lot of information there. But it's the mean is typically going to have a total of all the values we have here. You can see all the values here, and so they're so long a number. That's why you can see the E there, and so now what we're going to have is the missing value is going to have something similar to this, right? So now when we run this, we now come here to check for our missing for our bio data, and with the mean value, and we look at the head, and with the head we are now going to see what we have over here. So you can see this now. Yes, so we can see that it has closed this up. We're going to talk about what this E means, but typically what we're looking at is a lot of this values here have some replacements have happened, right? And so this is how you will typically fill in your data using missing values for the mean. Right, now take your time and do it. Whatever data you're working with, don't bother about the E itself. We're going to talk about that in another video, why this happens. But just know that you can use the mean to replace missing values, especially if it's a numerical value.